Hey, so in the video I posted yesterday about the bridge of incidents, from when I originally set the intention to be successful as a self-employed person to the point where I finally had all of that in place and it started to work and everything, and kind of like the end of the bridge. I left out because it's so important. Like, it's such a it's a part of the whole thing that is woven in so much that I didn't even think of it as an incident. I completely left out the part where I met my ex, who I currently own the business with, and who I manifested out of thin air intentionally. And I really feel like I should revisit this and touch on that because it's such a big deal, and people can be a huge part. You know, my brother was a big part of my bridge of incidents, but, you know, meeting somebody who helps you along the way can be a huge part of it, I think, and probably often is. So, I mentioned in my last video that there was a point where I hit just total burnout, and it was a low point. I was about 27. And, in fact, I was so tired of trying to make things work. I was just out of this really long abusive relationship with a depressed alcoholic who was a huge part of my motivation for trying to be successful with my book business, because I was always trying to take stress out of his life and make sure bills were paid and stuff like that. And I was just out of that, which, you know, if any of you have ever been in an abusive relationship, that takes a while to get over. It's just exhausting. And so I was kind of at this low point, and I decided, okay, I'm giving up on this. It's too much for me, and I just need to get a job that I can just, no matter how I'm feeling emotionally, I can just go to my job and do my job and get paid, basically. So I decided that I was going to go to nursing school, and I applied for a program. I went in to take all the entrance exams and stuff, and I did awesome on everything. And I called my friend Michael, who is awesome, and I said, hey, do you want to go out to dinner? Do you want to go celebrate something? I just did really, really good on all these exams for nursing school. And he didn't even know I was thinking about it. So we went out to dinner, and he's just this great friend, and, you know, he celebrated with me and just was awesome, talked to me about, you know, my recent breakup and all that stuff. And when I left that night and went home, I thought, okay, I know what I want. I just had this long, shitty, crazy relationship. I want somebody like Michael. That's what I want. I want a friend like that. I want somebody that feels like we've always known each other. We just meet and it's we've always known each other. It was like that with me and Michael. But I want that person in my life every day. I only see Michael once or twice a year, you know, and it's always no time has passed, but I want somebody in my life like that. That's what I want. I knew it. I felt it. I put it out there. And a few days later, I put up a text personal ad on Craigslist. You used to be able to do that without any pictures or anything. It was just a text thing. I met so many cool people that way back in the day, in my 20s. If you go look through the Chicago best of Craigslist, you will find many things composed by me there. But anyway, I put that up and I met Jean that way. And it couldn't have been more. I think it was July 3rd, and it was June 29th when I had gone out with my friend Michael. So it was literally 4 days later that I got exactly the thing that I had asked for once I had become completely clear that I wanted it and sort of sent that intention out. I met Jean. And immediately I told him about the nursing school thing. And immediately he said, no, you can't do that. He's that's a total waste. You have too much ability to do this entrepreneur thing. I had told him about, you know, my businesses and stuff. He's no, you can't do that. You can't go to nursing school. My mom was totally pissed because she wanted me to go. But basically, he came in and kept me from going to nursing school, encouraged me to continue. Like, I was at a low point, like I said, you know, he would we would talk on the phone, and then he would email me a to-do list. He'd be like, okay, we talked, you said you needed to do this, 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 and this. And he would send it to me, and then like I wouldn't do it. But, you know, it was just this supportive thing from the beginning. And so he kind of stepped in and prevented me from going in the direction that I was headed in, which is pretty important to this Bridge of Incidents story. His appearance really changed that trajectory back towards, you know, the way it was meant to go based on my intention. And another thing is that I was thinking about earlier, I mentioned how my brother kind of stepped in at one point, at sort of an important point, and said, hey, I've got a job for you. And it was, you know, all this internet marketing stuff. Gene, my ex, had actually been talking about that for like the whole year before that, saying that he thought there was a lot of opportunity in internet marketing. And it had just gone in one ear and out the other, because it sounded like the most boring thing in the world to me. I didn't want to do it. But it was just interesting that he had been bringing that up for like a year before the thing happened with my brother. And Gene and I also worked on all the internet marketing stuff together after that. But another thing that Gene influenced that almost certainly is the entire reason that I have the business that I have today, that we have the business we have today, is that when Gene and I decided to move in together, we were already doing internet marketing stuff. I was already working for my brother, so I had an income at that time. And I had all of these materials left over from the birdhouse modification business. I had like a whole bookshelf completely full of all this stuff. It was probably like $500 worth of stuff that, to me, in my mind, was now useless because I had abandoned it. I was burned out on it, and I didn't anticipate ever doing it again. And so when we were moving, we were packing up my apartment to move in together, he was helping me, and I said, you know what, just take all that stuff and put it by the dumpster. Like, somebody will take it. I don't want to move it. It's just a waste. Like, it's never going to get used. It's just going to sit around collecting dust. Just put it by the dumpster. And he's like, no way. He's like, this is like $500 worth of stuff. I'm not putting it by the dumpster. He's kind of a tightwad. Money's his thing. And so, you know, when it comes to anything like that, that would be his response. So I'm like, okay, I don't want it in, you know, I don't want that moved in with me. He's like, okay, I'm just going to put it in my parents' basement then. And he did. He took it all to his parents' basement. And then when we reached that moment a few years later where I was like, okay, shit's dire, the internet marketing thing is not working, I cannot do this. Like, when the idea of applying the internet marketing to the birdhouse mod business came to me, I had all the materials in Gene's parents' basement available, so we were able to get started on it like right away. We didn't have to buy anything, we didn't have any money, and we're super broke. So, I mean, without that, I don't know that it would have been able to happen, because, you know, when my brain was just like running through all the possibilities of what could be done, it might have just rejected the birdhouse mod business, because I'd have been like, well, that could work, but we don't have money for that. Move on to the next thing. So those are two big ways that he happened to influence the outcome, and they're pretty important. So I think sometimes a person can definitely be a part of the bridge. Often a person is a part of the bridge. But, you know, also, once we get past the end of the bridge where the business actually started, there is just no way I could have done what we've done in the last 10 years by myself. Like, he had complementary skills and ideas and all kinds of stuff. He's done all of the jobs for the business that, like, I don't want to do. And, you know, he ended up being a very important part of my original intention and my original business and all that stuff ever fully turning into something lucrative. So I left him out, and because he's such a big part of it, it's almost like I was talking about what we did, not just what I did. But definitely meeting him at the time that I did, at that very pivotal point where I was ready to just go in an entirely different direction. And then, that one thing when we were moving in together. Those two things were really, really important. So those two things were part of the bridge of incidents. So I just thought I would make this little add-on in case anybody was interested. Yeah, that's it.